Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Pardon my pure sickness. I've been down under the weather this week and I feel like legit crap. But we got a truck coming back to the channel that you guys probably forgot about. You guys remember Wes's LMM that we took to track and clicked off a 10-second pass with? Well, after a year of sitting, we're going to go down to Wes's house, grab it, put on the trailer, do some much needed work to it, and then we're going to take it racing tomorrow. We're going to do some dirt drags. Tori is down. Intermediate shaft is what broke. There's a picture, and I ordered a custom converter for it by a different guy, different company. Well, he sent it, and it was not anywhere near what it was supposed to be. A Duraflex converter is basically a 48 back half with an Allison front half, so it bolts to the Duramax flex plate. Well, he pretty much just sent me a regular 48 converter, so that did not work. My other converters at Garrett, they're going through it. They're going to do a couple changes to it. So I don't have a converter. I have a transfer truck, but I do not have the converter, which without a converter, I can't do anything. So we're going to go racing. Wes's truck's been sitting for a year. We're going to go grab it, we're going to go fix it up, and we're going to take it racing. So let's get the trailer loaded up, and let's go see what this thing looks like. I haven't seen it in close to a year as well, so I'm sure it probably looks pretty damn rough and dirty. It's been sitting underneath a carport for the last year. So get the trailer loaded up, and let's go dig this thing out of its hole. Guys, thing's been sitting underneath this thing for nearly a year. Wes got the jump box on it. Poor thing, been sitting for a while. Still look clean under here though. He's got some ugly ass wheels on it right now. Thing is, looks like it's squatting. Oh, he's got a jack under the front. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing pulled out. We're gonna swap wheels with my stockers and take this thing racing this weekend. We're only got 165K on it. Still purring like a kitten though. We got all the LMMs back together. These two are the OGs. Wes actually bought his a month, I think, right before I bought mine. So these two have been the OGs. A lot of parts on Wes's truck came from Tori. For you guys that did not watch the video of Wes's truck a while back, pop the hood here. So fuel system wise, dual stock pumps. It has 100% nozzles on stock bodies. The whole fuel system came off Tori. This complete setup, it has S476, and the same fuel setup was exactly the same setup on this when I originally went 10s back in 2018 or 19. I went 1082 with this full setup right here. Not this turbo kit. I had my own turbo kit, but it had a 76. It had this exact fuel system, dual stock pumps, 100% nozzles. These are the actual original injectors that came in Tori when I bought it. So they're still kicking. Wes clicked off a 1092, I believe, with this setup. 60 foot wasn't as good as mine was. And I clicked off a 1082. So whole setup came off Tory. This engine is a stock bottom end. He cracked a piston in it when he put an S467 on it. So he pulled it out and he swapped in LB7 pistons. This was probably about 4 years ago now. And the truck's still running, still ticking, runs good. Today we have to put a water pump on it. As you guys can see, there is nothing in it. This thing's been sitting for legit a year now, guys. A whole year. Last time this truck has been out was at our Mason-Dixon Dirt Drag event last year. Wes just busy with work, doesn't have time to mess with it, doesn't get to enjoy it. So brought it back here today, clean out this bay, get it pulled in, change the water pump out, and then we have a dirt drag race tomorrow in Kent County at the Elks Lodge. We're going to go sling some dirt since my baby is down and I have the itch to race. So felt like I could help Wes out, plus it helps me out because I had the urge to race. He's been probably wanting to drive this thing, so we'll get this thing fixed up. I'll race it tomorrow and he can come pick it up. So it does have my old nitrous setup on it. It has a spool jet and it has a standard kit. The main kit's off a wide open throttle switch, and then the spool jet is on a button. Just like how Tory was, guys, I will show you. It is on the lockup box. That's the spool jet. Very simple, very easy, right in your hand. Makes it super simple, but I just found out that neither of the nitrous systems are working right now, so I got to figure out why that's not working, fuse or something like that. I mean, the truck's been sitting for a year now, guys, so who knows, maybe a mouse got to something or something, but we'll figure that out. First things first, let's get this thing pulled in, let's get torn apart, and let's get it fixed. We'll go toss some coolant in it and take it for a drive. This thing is a blast to drive. I mean, I daily drove on this exact setup in Tory for years. I would drive an hour to work, then leave work, drive an hour to the track, clicked off my 10-second pass, then drove an hour back home. So this was the most fun setup I ever had with Tory, besides when I went to 200th and Tory. Such a fun setup, super simple, easy to dial in. It's just crazy. I had a serious budget with Tory back in the day, and that's all I could afford. That's all I could do. The fact that these injectors, I think they had close to 200,000 miles on them when I put the nozzles on them, and they're still kicking like it's nothing. And I probably put the nozzles are what, $800. Dual pump kit's dirt cheap. I'm pretty sure I found it used. It's this factory CB3 in the Valley, and then this was a used CP3. West spray painted and stuff. But super cheap, simple setup. I mean, the most expensive thing probably on this truck is probably the transmission. It has a diesel unlimited 900 build in it. Actually, I don't even think it's a 900 build. I think it just has a billet input shaft. It does not have a billet output, just a billet input. It has a Gear and J converter. And I think the clutch is set up for like a 750 build still too. So this was Wes's budget build too as well. He didn't put that much money into it, and the setup just works. So let's get this thing pulled in, let's get torn apart, and let's get this thing running right again with no leaks. Water pump on. After we got the water pump on, filled it up with coolant, quickly realized that the radiator was leaking. Luckily I had a spare one off of Tory that we threw on here, and we're good to go. We're topped off with coolant. His nitrous kits were not working. Come to find out, one of the fuses was messed up. So we got that fixed. A spool test coming here. I'm not going to spool it up with nitrous just yet. We got the bottle in here. This is his spool button. You see here, turn the key. Oh, just like Tori was. So that's the spool kit. And then the main kit is over here. Turn that on, and you can hear the solenoid clicking. So let's start this thing up, and let's do a spool test on this thing. This thing has been spooled up in quite a long time. Spool that great, so we're probably going to use a spool jet. And just found we have another leak. Looks like it is dripping down from front of the driver head, which would be that cross pipe that goes from each head. The gasket is leaking. We don't have time to fix that. We're just going to take some coolant with us. Good thing we're racing on dirt, so it should be all right. Get this thing loaded up on the trailer, and we'll see you guys in Kent County. Well, guys, I used to make fun of Wes for always losing first round. I used to think that maybe he just was a bad driver or he wasn't trying hard enough. I don't think that's the case. I just think this truck is just cursed with first round loss syndrome. Literally every time out, every event, this truck barely ever makes it past first round. And Wes, I feel sorry for you. The truck runs good, guys. It's just outdated. Like I said, the whole fuel setup is off a Tory, and it just needs freshened up. It's an old setup. This setup a couple years ago would absolutely kill it on dirt, but not today. It's very competitive on dirt around here, and this truck just doesn't stand a chance. To be competitive in dirt drags around here, you got to make at least 1,000, 1,100 horsepower. This truck only has hundreds in it, 100% nozzle at that. So who knows if they even flow like typical hundreds. They're old, and the fuel system was actually messed up at one point in time. Wes had bad fuel, so the injectors, I didn't even log it. Who knows? It's the same tune file in it from years and years ago. Nothing has changed on this truck in years, so it's just time for a major refresh on it. Like I said, guys, I already put a water pump and a radiator on it just to go racing this weekend. On the spool check, you guys seen that it was leaking coolant driver's side, whether that's the head or the coolant crossover pipe, I don't know. Wes had freaking water sitting in this thing for the last year or so, so who knows what happened. It's probably corroded as hell in there, but the engine has to come out. It has to be resealed. This thing has raggedy GM gold head gaskets on it, still has head bolts on it. Head bolts aren't the issue for this power, it's really the head gasket. So people were saying on my first race coolant was puking out the coolant tank, so I'd say the engine has to come out regardless. It is, it just needs resealed, it needs refreshed, and then hopefully Wes can take it back out there and get some wins, because this setup right now just isn't cutting it. So either way, I had fun. Got to bring Wes's truck out. Hasn't been out in at least a year, so it felt good, felt different. Definitely felt very slow from racing Tory. That's a big horsepower difference. Wes truck makes like 900 horsepower on fuel. And this is making like 1,300 on fuel, so it just feels very slow racing compared to that. Plus, racing with an Allison again, I literally just don't know what to do with my hands. I mean, I hit lockup, but it just doesn't feel like I'm doing enough like when I'm racing that. So anyways, guys, we have our big dirt drag race coming up this weekend. Do not miss it. Huge payouts. Run with your bung. First place is $5,000. Second place is $1,500. And then stock turbo class, first place is $2,000, and then second place is $500. Come out. It's gonna be food trucks, a lot of people. There's gonna be media guys. It's gonna be a ball. So come on out, October 5th, Mason-Dixon Dirt Drags, Delta, PA. I will see you guys there. See ya.